Hello there, Sir from 17 once again. This is my Deus Ex, Foxiest of the Hound walkthrough. This is of course Mankind Divided, and we are on Mission 5, Claiming Jurisdiction. This is on the most difficult difficulty, and we will also be achieving Pacifist by the end of this run, so look forward to that. Right now, I am going to show you that you can pick up items and use them as a distraction, but I'm also going to show you that sometimes it's not that useful. Admittedly, I didn't do the best job and I didn't pick up the most clangy thing to throw, but I thought that would have got that person's attention, and instead, I think, fuck it, I'm going to use my cloak, because did I mention the cloak's the most powerful ability in this game? You just saw why. If you have cloak, and you have those biogel items that give you free energy when you eat them, if you hoard that, and you use the cloak, there is not a single situation in this game you cannot stealth your way through completely effortlessly. You'll notice I'm waiting now to recharge my battery, because on this run you're not going to see me eat those specific items to give me energy. But I recommend that you do, because not only is it empowering, but you're essentially a god. The cloak is so good on this game that they've intentionally balanced it in a very specific way. So every time you use an ability, it consumes a certain amount of energy to use it. Every so often, you get a diminished return on when you use it, and you'll notice, did you see how there's that redness to my bar, and then the white line comes down, and it comes down, and it comes down? It doesn't do it every time. I think it's every other use, because I used to run out of energy all the time just messing around with the Icarus Dash to move myself up. But every other time you use the ability, it takes a little bit away, and it gets to the point where you only have the one battery that regenerates at the beginning, and that's the one that will stick with you the entire time. But did you see what I just did then? I walked up to her, the moment I went past her, I activated cloak, the moment I could put something between me and her, I'm out of cloak. It's insanely powerful, guys, and there's no reason to be seen when you're using it. What I like to do is I like to move out of cover, and all I'm doing is I have my hand hovered over the left D-pad, which is where I've assigned the cloak, and I wait for the yellow alert signal. I watch it. The moment it gets close to being activated, I trigger the cloak. You see? That's all I'm doing, guys. It's simple. All I'm doing. And then I'll wait a little bit for it to regenerate, or I'll just move on because I know I can do it. There's one upgrade you can use that makes this even simpler, which I'm going to avoid the entire game to make it a bit more enjoyable to watch. And that is the map upgrade that gives you the vision cones of the enemies. It is ridiculously powerful, and we started with it in the Dubai mission before they took it away. That will show you where everybody is looking, and you don't even need the stealth, because you can literally just Metal Gear Solid your way through the entire game, and it's such a fun way to play, and it's so empowering. So once again, folks, it's an upgrade that, if you get it, this game loses half the challenge immediately, and I think you should, because this is a walkthrough to get you through the game really decisively, and I want you to use every tool you can to achieve that. Another thing you're not going to see me using, but it needs to be mentioned, is the cover system here. It has this really unique guide yourself into cover from a distance, and it gives you unique properties too. It enables Jensen to be more difficult to detect, and sometimes you can do ridiculous things where you run clear in sight of people and they don't see you. I don't know why, and I don't use it enough to tell you why, but it's a great mechanic that I ended up kind of neglecting. But I'll use it every so often because the cover is the best way to see what's happening when you can't directly see where you're going. And for the people who don't like using the cloak, if you wanted a way into where we just got to, I'm going to reverse engineer a pathway in to get out, because I didn't want to use more of my battery to get past these people. So do you see the vent to my right? This vent is going to lead to a bathroom, I believe, that's inside the train station that is not in the restricted zone, so you can just use this path if you don't like the other one I chose. And that's why this game is amazing, guys. Regardless of your abilities, regardless of what you can do, you can find really, really cool ways of getting to where you need to be. Look at that, you move the box off the shelf and you're in a store cupboard. It's so sweet, and there's so many alternate paths to get where you need to be. It makes exploring really, really fun, and there's always another way. And that's why I think that this game is amazing, because so many games give you the illusion of choice, and then when it comes down to it, half of them are so impractical that they just don't work right, and you can't get them to function the way you need them to. And then you end up finding the one that's better than all of them that everyone's going to use, because there's no reason to do the silly bugger choices, because that one's so strong. This game isn't like that. There are definitely strong choices, and there are definitely weaker choices, but you can make it work, and you can make it work as if it looked like it was designed to be that way. And I think that's the good point here, that's the thing to cling to. It looks like that's the way they want you to do it, but there's also 5 other ways they wanted you to find as well. And it's just this wonderful circus of design, where there's all these fantastic events coming together to make this level design, which I think is some of the best on the systems. I really do. I really, really enjoy it. But I kept this particular journey in on the elevator because we just got a code, and if people are watching this to literally verbatim everything I do and get codes, some of the transitions might be confusing if you don't know the game, because I am going to trim out the downtime, the dialogues, any of the cutscenes, you know, specific instances where we have to stand for a very long period of time, it will be trimmed, and in other circumstances I will use crossfades to erase moments that you just didn't need to see. For instance, I ran around this entire base looking for an EMP grenade just out of a backup, and I didn't find one. But we need to... I'm looking for Smiley, who I think is in forensics, but I don't quite have the layout of this land just yet. So, he's across from me right now, just there. Yeah, I didn't quite have the 100 on this location, but talk to him, and that's the end of your mission. So thank you very much for watching, guys, and you take care now.